Hello, this is Tammy. I am in my element, my Honda element. I'm here to bring you some tidbits that I have learned over the years as a physiotherapist, working with people who live with persistent pain, complex conditions, also by being a patient who lives with persistent pain myself. So today we're going to talk about a strategy of how to change your brain activity and your body chemistry by living in the moment. And so we talk about how, living in the moment is like a state of mind, a state of being, and in actual fact, it is. So if you are living in this moment, the activity in your brain, in terms of activity being electrical activity or, the things that light up on an MRI scan, will be different than if you are not living in this moment. So let's talk about today about what that means and what we can do about that. So first off, living in the moment. So it's said that when we are living our life, that we're only truly living in the moments that we are in at the moment. And what that means is, if we're living in the future, if we're anxious about what's to come, thinking about what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do, what if this happens, what if that happens, if this happens, then I will do that. And if that happens, or maybe I don't know what's going to happen, and we're constantly thinking about what's to come, what hasn't happened yet, what might happen, we're in a state of more like anxious or fretting. So that's not to say we can't plan ahead. Planning ahead is great. It helps us stay organized. It helps us stay goal focused and accountable. So this is different than planning ahead. And if this is you, you're probably identifying with what I'm talking about right now. Quite a lot of us live ahead of where we are. We're thinking about all the things that I got to do later, all the stuff that's coming up. It's always kind of ruminating around in there. The other thing is living in the past. So if you're someone who ruminates a lot, thinking about what happened earlier, what happened yesterday, what I said, what I did, how I sounded, I wonder, did I say that okay? I'm not really sure. Like that kind of thing, sort of replaying things. And then a lot of times, if you're like me, that tendency to replay stuff and then think about what I would have done different or what I will do in the future if that happens again. And I kind of get down a bit of a rabbit hole. And so there's a certain amount of this that's normal to our human nature. We like to sort of, think about how we fit into society, how we're coming across to people, what our role is, all those kinds of things. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's that this in excess is where we tend to become out of balance. And so if we are worrying about things in the past, replaying them, those types of things, that often will facilitate a little bit more of raised heart rate, maybe it's a little bit of dread in your belly, all those types of things. And your brain actually doesn't understand that that's not happening right now. So you can have that physiological response as if what happened already that you're thinking about, worrying about, concerned about, your body will be reacting as if that is happening again. And the ways that your brain lights up electrically, the different aspects of your brain that are working together to talk to each other about what this means to you, what you're learning from it, all those kinds of things, that will be different than if you are thinking about what hasn't happened yet. So if you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong, might go wrong, maybe will happen, maybe they won't, good, bad, or otherwise, this excessive forward thinking does pull different aspects of brain function into the picture. And again, it's not terrible. It's how we're wired. It's just the excess of it. It becomes a bit of a problem because that can also then create that physiological response of worry and anxiety, which is part of our fight or flight alarm bell system and things like that. So we've talked about in previous episodes how the more we can stay out of our sympathetic drive and be more in our parasympathetic or arrest and digest, that tends to create a little bit more balance than if we are in fight or flight more often than maybe we should be. So the key that I find is figuring out how to live more in the moment that I'm in. So this is where all of the experts will say, oh, you just need to do some meditation. And the thing I hear from clients and from people the most is that they're like, I should do meditation, but I just can't. I can't clear my head. I don't know how to empty my mind. It's just not for me. I probably should be doing it, but yeah, I'm not doing it. Or they try a practice, but it feels silly and not really sure if it's doing anything and that kind of stuff. So it's certainly not as satisfying as maybe, doing a workout where you're physically picking up something heavy and putting it down. It's very satisfying. It's very sort of task oriented. And then, next week you pick up something heavier and then you put it down and you're like, yay, I made progress. So meditation is one of those things that people have a lot of resistance to for many different reasons. To me, I kind of think of it, it's like flossing your teeth. Most people are willing to brush their teeth, but very few people are willing to floss their teeth. They're like, yeah, I got time to brush, but yeah, I should floss, but I don't. So I feel like of a meditation. People talk about yoga. Some people will do yoga, but they won't do yin yoga because yin is just too slow. It's like they're like, nah, I gotta be doing something. So for those kind of people, if this sounds like you, which is most of the people I would say that I meet in the Western world, is that everybody is busy, everybody's stressed, everybody wants a solution to it, but this whole meditation business sounds like a bit woo-woo, and they don't want to do it. So I won't tell you all of the many physiological benefits to meditation here in this podcast, in this episode. I will direct you to the Andrew Huberman Huberman Lab podcasts, because he can say it much better than I can with all of the research to back it up. What I want to do here is talk about how the key to learning how to do meditation, if you really want to do it, is mindfulness. So to me, mindfulness and meditation are two sides of the same coin. They are the thing that often need to go together in order for us to really be in a meditative state. So things that can be meditative: walking, running. Runners are like, it's a stress reliever, so great. It's like, why? But it's that cadence, it's that rhythmic, they get into this zone, becomes meditative for them. Playing chess or playing an instrument or a piano, if you're doing lessons and things like that, anything that keeps you firmly in the moment, where you get lost in the moment, quote unquote. It's a time where your brain is with you in that moment and you're not doing anything else. So sometimes I teach movement meditation, because if you stop concentrating on what you're doing, then you might lose your balance and things like that. Mindfulness is something that you can learn very easily, and it is kind of the gateway to meditation. So what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to just practice a little bit of mindfulness. So mindfulness is, to me, the practice of intentionally noticing things. So we're gonna practice. So here we go. We're gonna keep our eyes open, and we're going to notice something. So for me, I'm in my car. I noticed that there's a lot of red on the signs that are in the parking lot, which I'm currently parked. It's a lot of red. Awesome. So think about what you just noticed. Now I'm going to notice a few more things. So I'm looking around. I'm going to noticing that there's a purple curtain over there. The vehicle next to me is white. Something else I'm noticing is it's very sunny outside. That kind of thing. So mindfulness is, at its very simplest, noticing just the stuff around you. That's the basics. You can start with that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close our eyes, and we're going to notice three things. And so I'm going to have you do it with me. So I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to notice three things. One of the things that I notice is I can hear the air conditioning running in my vehicle. The other thing I notice is, because my vehicle is running, I can feel the vibration in the seat of the motor as it's idling. And the other thing I'm noticing is that with my eyes closed, because it's really sunny out, the eyelids look, very, very reddish and very bright. Okay, so I'm going to open my eyes. So we'll open our eyes now. We meditated. Yay! So that's essentially, you just meditated. So meditation and mindfulness go together really, really nicely. You can get all the benefits of meditation in terms of regulating your nervous system, so regulating blood pressure, heart rate, cortisol levels, sleep-wake cycle, all those types of things. These little telomeres are the ends of our neurons that help maintain brain capacity and memory as we get older. All of those kinds of things are amazing for being able to live a full, complete, healthy, happy life. And so what I want to do is to encourage you to start practicing mindfulness. When you are practicing mindfulness and just noticing whether you are washing the dishes and you're feeling the water and the soap, or if you're just stopping for a moment and notice. So start to notice, 3 things. Then close your eyes. Notice 3 more things. And then maybe notice if you're taking a big breath or if you're holding your breath. So then make sure you're breathing. So maybe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Do that as you notice things. That's meditation. And so if you can just stop and do that practice once a day, you will start to feel that click in your nervous system. You'll start to be able to incorporate that into moments where you are feeling stressed as a way of dialing back down. And you can do that as a regular practice, like brushing and flossing your teeth, that you are sort of, think of it as like flossing your nervous system. You're getting some of the clutter out of there. And the more times we can live in the moment we're in, instead of in the moment to come, that's not here yet, or the moment that's past, that actually doesn't exist anymore except in our brain. The more times we can live in the moment that we're in, the more we are at home with ourselves. Our stress management strategies can really, really take hold, and we live a much more regulated, peaceful life. And so this can be very helpful for people who are living with persistent pain, chronic stress, or if you're just feeling like, I just really want to learn how to meditate because I hear it's good for me. This is what I would recommend for a beginner. It's a really great time of year right now. If you're listening to this when I'm releasing it, it is early summer in North America, and the birds are out. There's breeze blowing. There's lots of things to notice and listen outside. And we know the benefits of getting outside into nature as well can be very beneficial. So stop where you are. Notice 3 things. Close your eyes. Notice 3 more things. And then check in with yourself. Are you breathing regularly? And maybe you might just decide to do more than 3 things. Maybe you will count 10 breaths and notice how it feels to breathe through your nose or through your mouth, and how your chest moves. You can really notice anything. You can notice like how my shirt feels, how my seat feels, all those kind of things. So this is what I'm going to encourage you to try, and let me know if you try the practice of meditation as a gateway to mindfulness. Actually, no, the other way. If you try mindfulness as a gateway to meditation.